The other day, somebody asked me, how do I get so many things done? And my answer really was kind of unorthodox because he was kind of like, well, how do you handle so many things? You could say that it's confront and my ability to tackle things, but the reality of it is that it really comes down to energy, I think. And I don't mean just like, energy in your body. I mean, energy that you produce for your body. If you're sleeping at night and all of a sudden you had to get up because your life depended on it and you had to go run, up a hill or a mountain, you would do it, right? You'd find the energy to do it. That's what I'm talking about specifically. I think people that get things done have an innate ability to produce energy when they don't have energy, number one. When I'm tackling something, I can make a decision. It doesn't matter how small it is. Like if I know that something's got to get done, two people could be looking at the same situation. Now, maybe the situation doesn't really dramatically affect their lives, but it needs to get done. So then you have to somehow calculate the amount of energy that you would have to expend in order to get that thing accomplished all the way to the end. Like, I'm not talking about just starting something because that's kind of easy. Like, I know a lot of people that just go and they just go start stuff. Like, I'm talking about like actually thinking through with, okay, I'm going to commit a certain amount of energy to get this thing that needs to get done all the way through until it's done. And I'm not going to stop until it gets done. That's a very different mindset. Well, then it kind of falls into persistence, right? Because it starts with, are you willing to expend the amount of energy that it takes to do said thing, whatever that task is? And then do you have enough persistence to follow it all the way through? Most people look at a task or a project and they get overwhelmed with the amount of energy that they have to expend to do it, so they don't do it. That's the first hurdle you got to jump through, the first test you got to make. Like, most people will look at a big project or even a medium or small project and just get overwhelmed with the amount of energy they got to expend to do it. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is maybe they start it, but then they don't have the level of persistence that's needed to do it. And I think that to me is what makes the really successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful entrepreneurs. It's their ability to just think with, I just got to get it done. To me, it's not any more complicated than that. It's like, I know for me, like if I start something, I want to finish it. I don't really stop until it's done. I think that's the common denominator with successful people. I have this thing that I got to get things done. I don't know where it comes from, or I don't think it's like a source of strength thing. I think it's just, I want to get done and I don't stop until it's like done. Whatever that is, I mean, it's like, I don't need motivation. I don't need a pep talk. I don't need somebody to root me on or be my cheerleader. It's like, if I've committed to doing something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it until it's done, come hell or high water. Like, I'll move heaven and earth to make it happen, but I got to first commit to it. So if I commit to doing something, then I'm going to do it. And I've never needed somebody to motivate me or put me back on track. It's like, if I know that there's something I want to do, I just do it. And I think that people shouldn't try to overcomplicate. Like, I don't overcomplicate it. It's just like, for me, if it's something you love and you want to do it, then why wouldn't you just do it? You know what I mean? I'm not sitting in the corner watching like motivational videos on YouTube to pump me up. If I'm watching any videos, it's informative videos about nuclear fusion or something, but it's like, I'm a little bit of a geek like that. The more success you have in life, I think you end up accumulating things, and the higher you get in life, then it's more of a risk or a fear that you're gonna fall, right? Because when you don't have anything, falling is where you're gonna fall to, like you're not above the ground yet. But I think that when you get to a certain level, you obviously have a lot more to lose than when you didn't have anything. So I think that definitely changes it. And then I think it becomes really a risk tolerance thing, like how much you're willing to risk for more. Some have a higher risk tolerance than others, but I have a very high risk tolerance. Look, I think that my job is to make sure that we all win together. And so as I get a little older in life, I think that I never really think of seeing things and it motivates me. I think what I see is like, I've got to do a better job of providing a better environment for my team and all my employees and everybody. And that's really what it comes down to for me. It's just like, that's just my duty to do. If I'm not doing that, then I'm not doing the right thing. And then it's like, I want to do the right thing. So the right thing to do is just to get up and work, and it's to grind every day. Just being productive makes me happy. So I think that when I see all the things that I see around here, hundreds of employees here, and we got tons of people, behind me and all this stuff, and it's cool. It definitely makes me think that there's still more to do. I kind of veer more to that than I do, like, I don't know. I think that that's pretty common too. I don't think that there's a lot of entrepreneurs, I could be wrong, that see hundreds of employees and be like, wow, I have hundreds of employees. I think it's more of like, why don't I have thousands of employees yet? I think that's more of that. I'm very rarely content. I'm very rarely content with what I have. I'd probably say that I probably spend 3 or 4% of my time like in appreciation of the things that I have, and the rest of it is like, we need more. I'm content for about 3 seconds or 3% of the time, and then it's like, what's the next thing? And we got to get bigger. We got to go faster, and the urgency's got to be more, and it could be better, and this doesn't end. You got to find what you want to do, and you got to work like hell. And you got to get up every single day and work when it's not popular. Nobody's rooting for you, and nobody's calling you and cheering you on, and you got to grind, and you got to work. You got to put in the time, and if you're not willing to put in the time, you just don't get there. I'd love to tell you that there's some secret sauce, but the reality is there's not. Are you working while the other guy's sleeping? Even if you look up the definition of work, it's not being in an office. It's using physical and mental ability. That's what it is, using physical and mental. It doesn't say physical, it says physical and mental. Are you the type of person where when you're not at work, you're still working? You're still thinking about all the things that need to get done, or how to make things better, and does it consume you? I think that if it doesn't consume you, I don't think you get there. I think if you can forget about it all and do other things, I think that it's not consuming you. Like, everything I do consumes me. I dream about it and I think about it all the time, and there's not a minute of the day that doesn't go by that I don't think about all the things that I'm trying to do and where I want to go and all that stuff. And I think that the people that are able to shut that off, I don't think that they get there. I'm getting to a point where I'm not trying to give people advice, I'll just tell you what I'm doing. I know that for me, the people that I have met that are very successful are always consumed 24/7 with what they're doing. And the people that are not consumed every single day with what they're doing, they're not as successful. That's the truth.